Hi everyone, Bill and Carrie with KB Treks.
Hello.
A little bit more somber tone on this one. Where are we, hon, and what are we doing?
We are at Pearl Harbor. We're going to do a tour of the Arizona and, kind of look around at all the memorials that are here.
As we walk in from the parking lot, one thing you can see here is they talk about the different museums that you can visit. And then this is a map kind of showing where the layout is. So this is where the park is, and then we take a shuttle to the Arizona, and that's the Missouri, and then over here is the Aviation Museum, and then over here is the Submarine Museum, which is part of the park. Here we go. We are entering into the memorial area of the park. Alright, and we are inside the park. There's a couple places you can go here to get tickets to go to the like the memorial, the narrated tour right there, but we already have our tickets as part of our Carrousel tour. So now we're gonna follow our guide here to the first stage. We have tickets already, as I said. Off in the distance is the USS Arizona. We're gonna get a chance to explore a lot of this stuff after we get through the Arizona, but we have to go through that first because that's our ticket time.
You are on your way to the gravesite of over 900 sailors and Marines. It's a war grave, and we treat it as such. On December 7th, 1941, the entire island of Oahu was under attack. Every single military installation on this island was being bombed or strife with machine gun fire at the same time. Pearl Harbor, Hickam, Schofield, Fort Shafter, Wheeler, Everett, Bellows, Kaneohe Bay Naval Air Station at the time, now Marine Corps Base, they were all being obliterated. There were over 148 naval vessels in that harbor. 21 of them were badly damaged, 10 of them were sunk, and 4 of them were battleships. Those battleships were the USS Utah, the West Virginia, the Oklahoma, and the USS Arizona. Their friends, their families, and their loved ones, they come here to pay their respects. And we get the honor and the privilege to share this place of grievance with them. But you need to do it peacefully and respectfully.
We had to go straight to the memorial because of our time and the time that we arrived with our tour group. So we didn't get a chance to talk about it beforehand. Yeah, we went in. Actually, we thought it was a video, but they had a little set of instructions by one of the
Park rangers
here, and basically instructions on going over there. And it was very somber. Barely anyone really talked, and it was just a fascinating thing to see. Actually got emotional. My tie to this is my grandpa Earl, my dad's dad. He wanted to join the Navy with his best friend, William Hyde, and my grandpa couldn't join because he had death in one ear, and they wouldn't let him join. Otherwise, he would have gone with my, in a sense, great uncle, William Hyde. And he died on the Arizona on that day in December 7th. And my dad is named after him. So in a sense, I am named after him. So it got really emotional for me to see his name, even though I never met the guy or knew very little about him. And so you can see from here, that is the memorial for the USS Arizona. That is that white structure with the flag. To the left of that is the USS Missouri battleship. That was the end of World War II, was on that battleship. That's where they signed the official surrender from Japan. And so it's very interesting that they have the beginning of the U.S. involvement in World War II on the right and the end of World War II on the left. With this photo you can see how the memorial is set up. So the Arizona is here underwater, and they put the memorial across like that so that you can see. So what we were seeing was, we saw the this here and a few of the things underwater. Around the walkway here they have timelines and some information about what led up to the day and the day of, and just a timeline around the attack here at Pearl Harbor. This one here talks about how they came in, the Japanese force. So it looks like they came in over the island and flew over to the base, which is down here. And this is where the ships were parked. So there's the Nevada, and then that's where the Arizona was. In this area is the names listed of the other casualties. They had to list the casualties on the Arizona from the Arizona, but this list here is from the other ships around. And they got a 3D model showing the island. So the first wave came over the island at the top here and down through the valley and attacked Pearl Harbor on the other side. So this is where we got in line to get onto the shuttle. They have a line for ticket and a standby line. We're going to go across to one of the museums. So this museum is about the attack. First thing you see when you come in is Tora Tora Tora, which is Japanese code words saying that the attack had been completed, the air raid on Pearl Harbor. This is one of the anti-aircraft guns from one of the vessels. I mean, it is just amazing. And I mean, for scale, here's a photo of a soldier next to it. This is pieces of one of the torpedoes. And just one of those things. It's amazing that something of this size can cause so much destruction. It's kind of hard to see because of the reflections, but this is a scale model of the Arizona and the memorial. So you can see how the Arizona and the memorial are at a 90-degree cross. We boarded here on this side with our boat, with our shuttle. And then on the right is the stack that we saw. And here's I think it's a bronze statue showing the layout too. The next building we're going to go into, they labeled it as the Road to War. So over there it kind of talks about the history and the tension in the Southeast Asia, and it also compares the timeline in Europe where World War II begins. And we're moving on. So tension started to rise between the U.S. and Japan, and so they moved the fleet from the west coast of the U.S. to Pearl Harbor in Hawaii so that they can deter Japanese aggression at the time. Here's one of the models of the battleships, and what's interesting to note is the size of these guns, because they can fire artillery for miles, and they can be very accurate. It was all analog. There was no computers or anything. They just used math. This is the model of the Japanese aircraft carrier, the Akagi, and so the planes flew from the Akagi to attack Pearl Harbor, and they had 36 planes ready, and they could launch them in just 15 minutes. And they were someplace off the coast of Oahu. Now, some people think that the planes flew all the way from Japan to Oahu. So it's for scale, like there's Japan. It actually came off the cruiser here, the aircraft cruiser, and they flew just a couple miles north of Oahu. I'm not exactly sure how far away that is from Oahu, but that's where the aircraft carrier was, just a few miles north.
So right here is, you can get audio tours, and depending on, they have 3 different ones ranging in prices for, they've got a short, a medium, and long basically, and the prices are anywhere from $9 to $13 for adults, and then different rates for children. This is also, if you did not pre-purchase your Arizona tickets, this is where you can go in and get standby tickets. If they're sold out for the day, you have to be standby. You may not get on board, but this is where you would go to check in if you have not purchased tickets yet.
We're near the entrance. That's where we came in, and when we first walked in, to our left is the gift shop and books. The 2 museums we just went to are down there on the left. On the right there where that white structure is, that's the shuttle to the USS Arizona Memorial. And right there's the book, the narrated tour that Carrie was just talking about. The desks that are straight across from when you walk in, I think that's an information desk, and there's also a place for you to buy tickets for the memorial. So over here you can buy tickets to go into the Bofin Submarine Museum, the Battleship Missouri Memorial, or the Pacific Aviation Museum. I've been to the Missouri Memorial and the Aviation Museum. They were both very interesting, but I didn't get to spend a lot of time there. And you can see the individual prices for the different things, like the passport to Pearl Harbor is $90. That'll cover everything. That's for adults, $45 for children. And then I'll go to the Missouri, the Aviation Museum, the submarine, and an audio tour. Just inside the entrance, this is interesting. So there's the United States on this map, and here's Hawaii, where Pearl Harbor is located, and Japan is over there. So that kind of shows how much closer Hawaii is to the U.S. This is a Pearl Harbor virtual reality tour, so you can see people with their mask on. One thing you have to be aware about is this is a national park, and it's covered by a combination of park rangers and the U.S. Navy, depending on what area. But they're very strict about bags.
We're not allowed to have any bags.
Unless they're clear.
Yes, if they're clear, then you can have them. But otherwise, yeah, like purses, backpacks, fanny packs, none of those are allowed on the ground.
Yeah, and as our tour guide said, you can put stuff in your pockets, just don't make it look like it's overflowing or whatever. But if you have your bag and you don't have a shuttle or a car or something to leave it, like you Uber here or whatever the case is, they do have a bag storage area. I don't know how much this is, but you can see there's a line because there's plenty of people here who didn't know that. So be advised, before you come here, pack light, or have a place.
Leave your stuff in your car or your vehicle, tour vehicle.
Yeah, if you're able to, for sure. I mean, they are super strict about that, so follow that rule. Like, I was here for work in December, if you've been following along. Anyway, so I was here for work in December, and we came here and we're supposed to go to the Battleship Missouri, the Aviation Museum, and I had a little bag, literally this big to hold camera batteries in. And the guy's like, it's a bag. No, it's a bag. No. Even after I emptied the bag and I was just going to carry the bag only, it was still a bag. Would not let me in with it. So keep that in mind. They're very, very strict about bags of any size as long as they're clear plastic. So you can bring a Ziploc bag or one of those bags that they would allow like into an NFL game kind of thing that are clear. Those are allowed, but absolutely no bags, any size. The other end, this is the Pacific Fleet Submarine Museum. This is something you have to pay for separately, which I had kind of pointed out a minute ago. You can also get a pass to cover everything. We're not sure if we're going to do this or not, but the other things, the Battleship Missouri and the Aviation Museum, you actually have to take a shuttle, which is next to the back check. You can take a shuttle from where the back check is over there, or you go in out this way, and you can take those. But we only have like a half hour until our tour resumes, so we don't have time to go to Missouri as much as I would love to go see the Missouri again. But let's see how long this is going to take us. So I checked at the register there, and they said it's about 20 to 30 minutes if you want to go straight on to the submarine and just kind of go that, and then it's like it could be up to an hour and a half if you want to go through the rest of the exhibits and kind of just take your time and explore. So we're kind of short on time, so we decided we're not going to do that, but you can at least see the submarine from up close. Along here is the waterfront memorial, and each of these represents the casualty list and the ships that were damaged or sunk. Here's a closer look at the USS Bonefin submarine. Here's another view of the Missouri next to the USS Arizona. Again, it's just crazy to think that on the right was the beginning of our involvement in World War II, and to the left signifies that where the end of World War II happened with the treaty signing between the U.S. and Japan. And this anchor was recovered from the USS Arizona. It's fascinating how big these things are. So I talked before about the Missouri and the Arizona, but if you look here where that tower is, that is actually the location of one of the other museums, the Aviation Museum, which is the only World War II aerial battlefield. I hope I said that all right. That anyone can go view. Little peek inside the gift shop. They do have a lot of books that you can get about that day or about World War II. And here's a little bit of look at the gift shop. They do have coins, military coins if you're interested in those. And also plenty of t-shirts, hats. Something else they have is that you can get a flag flown on the date of your choice. There's a QR code if you want to order online. So we are just walking out of our excursion here at Pearl Harbor and the USS Arizona specifically. And what did you think, hon?
Oh, I mean, I've been here before, but it's just incredible. I mean, you really can't even put into words. It's very somber. You know, when you just think of that day and how many people lost their lives, and yeah, that's really all I can say about it.
Can't really put words to it unless you've been here.
Yeah.
It's kind of the best way to put it. But we want to thank you for joining us. Please do a favor and subscribe. But anyway, we will see you next time. Until then, good luck and have fun.
See ya.